Hello, and welcome back to some Voyager Tarot again today, this week, with your host, Carmilla. And today we just have another week ahead reading. The week ahead readings are weird because they're a little hefty and it's a lot of energy to kind of like compact into a week. But obviously, I feel as though the energy of the week kind of like transcends, it does all it needs to do for the relation to your month, your year, whatever. Like you'll see different weeks like play out in their different ways. So it's really cool. Sorry for the background noise, but this is what happens when you live amongst human. So today, before we get into anything, let me show you our web. I did use separate tarot decks this week for each pile, which is really, really cool. There was something about the artwork and the fact that the decks have their own individual personalities and they all want to speak this week. So I made sure to include that. And we got some cool little bottom deck messages from them as well. But that'll be for every individual pile. So today we are using Star Temple Oracle. So we have the Alcyone, the Huntress with Quest. The Pleiades light my quest to be wild and free. Bottom deck energy for that Oracle card. It's so funny because the imagery on these Oracle cards is a little funky junky, but they get the job done. And then we have some Moonology this week too with South Node, don't let your past hold you back. Our Chakra Wisdom card, we have some third chakra solar plexus energy with oneness and unity. And go ahead and pause the video if you need so you can go ahead and read through that. I feel drawn to read the last little paragraph that says, I feel common ground with others rather than difference. I find common ground with others rather than differences, as this brings harmony into my life and into theirs. So go ahead and read the rest of that though. And then we have some intuitive messages today. Bottom deck, we have the King of Wands with I need to say, I am a naturally radiant, powerful, loving person. I do not allow others to stifle me. I love how that comes like right after the solar plexus energy. It makes total sense. And then our power animal, collective power animal of this week is the Lynx. And the Lynx usually talks about secrets and the mystery of life. Typically when it's in reverse, it's almost like a keep things hush hush, shut up type energy. But what this feels like to me is like there's like some darkness surrounding some type of like decision, like some type of decision making energy. Not a darkness as in darkness, I gotta stop using that word, but it feels very deep. It feels like I wanted to use the word reservoir. I don't know why, because I don't think that's deep, but my brain. But it seems like something is running deep, like some type of body of water or something like that, something to do with some type of flow. And it just like it feels almost like elixir, like there's some type of elixir in the deep or something like that. So I feel like this is about like going into a deep place. So I like how last week it was about self-reflection with the blue heron, but this week we have Lynx, and I feel like Lynx asks you to go even deeper, even further. So I feel like there's like a digging type energy of some sort, or like a excavating or some type of like digging, or digging something up. So that's the energy that we have from that this week, which makes total sense if we're, wanting to connect to our solar plexus and we want to be wild and free and not allowing our past to hold us back. A lot of times we have to go back to the past and free us of the things that do. So it makes total sense. So today we don't have crystals, we have candles, and we do have individual tarot decks. So on deck 1, we do have this snazzy black candle full of magic with the Voyager Tarot, which I'm happy to break out. If you know me, you know that Voyager Tarot is my favorite tarot deck ever. And then we have the Aleister Crowley Thot Tarot deck with the orange candle. I have to get the big version of the Thot Tarot. It looks really cool. I like the bigger decks too. It's funny. And then we have the green candle on the third pile with the Gilded Tarot. And then on the fourth pile, we have the Illuminated Tarot deck with the really cute rosy pink candle. Ooh, they like to roll. So go ahead and do whatever witchy thing it is you need to do in order to get into the mood for a reading. And I, my friend, will see you there. Hello, hello, group one, for all of our friends who chose the snazzy black candle and the Voyager Tarot. This will be your reading this week. So this is your anchor card or your like healing card this week. And then we'll get into your power animals and everything. But let me go ahead and light your candle because I feel honestly like there's some like cooking, some like torch in the darkness type energy that's going on this week, if it will actually light. That just wants our attention. Like I just see all of us kind of like going through like some old maze or labyrinth or something, and we're like holding, you know, we're being guided by like torchlight. So that's kind of like what it feels like to me this week. So I'll actually set this a little bit off to the side, but I'm glad you got to sit with that energy for a second. So let's get into your power animals. What do they have to say going on? What is going on for you this week with them? All right, you have, oh, my very first blank in reverse, and we also have this bird. I can't freaking pronounce its name, the grouse or the goose. I don't know. I don't just like Google it and like get the proper pronunciation, but whatever, who cares? It's a cute bird. All right, so it looks like this week, ooh, interesting. What it looks like is over here in this medicine shield, it seems like there's bird seed or bird feed or some type of grain. And with the bird, it almost seems like the energy of this bird is like trying to figure out the pecking order. Like there's some type of pecking order that it's trying to figure out. Like it's like there's some form of a hierarchy. So what I feel like is coming through this week for you, group one, is like you're kind of like trying to like know, like find your place or like know your place. This can be within a like group dynamic, like with friends or like at work. You're just trying to like find your own lane, because it almost seems like you're tired of like taking scraps, or you're like tired of like taking crap from people who like don't fully get you or try to like understand you. It just seems like you are this like really beautiful bird, but what is happening to this bird is it's not allowing its, well, not necessarily allowing itself, but it's not getting the proper like feed that it needs, or it's not eating enough to like properly sustain itself. And that's why I feel like the feed is in reverse. I feel that in the reverse too, like almost like there's some people who may be a little more overindulgent in eating more than what they need. It just take the message as it resonates for you, but it almost just kind of like feels like you're smoothing it out, so you're not going over, you're not going under, you're finding that sweet spot right in the middle so that you can be like this cute, like really happy bird. I feel like this bird energy is bringing a lot of joy into your life, and when you do work with birds or have any type of experiences with birds, it's almost like a reminder to like step back, enjoy, or like step back and like know that you like can get everything that you need. You can be fed properly. This also feels like, I don't know why, but pecking order. It's like literally that's the biggest thing for you this week. It's like kind of like finding your place within a group dynamic. There's some type of flock or some type of group dynamic that you're trying to find your place in. You're trying to like see where you fit, and you're questioning whether or not you actually do fit, because it seems like there are some people with a lot of seeds and they're hoarding, and there's some people with not enough seed and they're trying to give every bit so that they can like, you know, share and be nice with it. Kind of just seems like it feels very unbalanced this week. So I feel like you'll probably be running into that. And if you do run into that imbalance, allow this medicine to remind you that if you always remember that awareness is key. If there's an imbalance that is being brought to your awareness, that means that you can do something to fix it, to shift it, to heal this. You know, if it is being brought into your awareness, that means that it is ready to be healed. That's all that means. So allow the bird to like bring you joy in that way, where you're thinking, oh, this is imbalance, but remember, you're like, oh yeah, this is imbalance, but that means that I can soothe this, I can fix this one way or another. whatever it needs. But the words pecking order is like huge. Like it's just like figuring out like who's at the top of the food chain and blah 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 blah, kind of like figuring out how this is cycling and what this cycle needs from you, so that you find proper alignment and proper placement. Basically, that's exactly what it is. There it is. You're finding proper alignment and proper placement within some type of dynamic this week. So that's what that feels like. I love how it's like the bird seed is over here and the grouse. So let's check in with tarot. Let's see what your healing card is, or your anchor this week. And funny enough, you actually had the Hierophant bottom deck, so that makes like complete sense to me. And I did shuffle for this card and shuffled for the bottom deck, so let's go ahead and turn this card over and see what energy it's bringing. You have Courage with the Seven of Wands. That makes total sense to me, especially when a lot of times when it comes to finding your place within the pecking order, what do animals do, right? They usually like squabble, or they fight for some form of dominance or some form of like being seen. They stand up for themselves and things like that. So that makes total sense to me. I want to get a little bit more about this energy and see what else is going on. What's going on for group 1 this week? This pecking order energy. But I love so much how you have Courage. It just makes complete sense to me. You have the Seven of Worlds, so that is your second 7. So you have the 7-7 energy here. You actually have 3 7s, because 3 plus 4 with the 34 and the Groose means 7. So you have Breakthrough. So I love how you have Courage, Breakthrough. What else? The Hermit energy peeking at us as well. I love these cards so much. I really do. And that bird, like the essence of the bird is living in these cards too. It's like the colors, like the colors is very like they're very synchronistic. They are related to each other for sure. Let's see, what else do we have? Group 1 this week. Let's see. I love how your healing card is Courage. Your healing card this week is Courage. I love that so much. And I love too how like there's like a lot of like paint or like painting, and like a lot of like kind of like face coverings or mask, or like just kind of like some your last card, flip it out. And you have Guardian with the Woman of Crystals, which is the Queen of Swords in this deck. And then we also have bottom deck, we have Time and Space, which is I want to say, what is it? Because they changed it around in this deck. I believe it is the World, I want to say. I believe it's the World. But I can't like fully remember. Don't judge me. It's Time and Space, okay? So I honestly feel like I love how it's like a flow. It's like the healing here is Courage. Give yourself time and space to do so, to receive this breakthrough, so that you can break through to this Woman of Crystals type energy. Because I feel like this is what you're cultivating when you're finding your placement in this pecking order. You're not as low on the leaderboard as you like to think, and really the most helpful thing you can do that others probably won't participate in, but what someone with your awareness can do, is not see it as necessarily a pecking order, but see it as, does this dynamic fuel me? Does it feed me? If not, I either have to step up in it or step out of it. That's kind of that type of energy. It just depends on the people that you're working with and the type of people that you want around in your energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly feel like this Guardian energy is playing 2 roles for you this week. There's an actual Guardian energy that feels very protected, and what was that? It feels like this breakthrough energy, but there's also this energy of the Guardian being you. Like this Guardian energy is like your higher self, and you're stepping into that role of your higher self. That's kind of what the energy feels like, almost like a spreading. And sorry, there's so much profanity going on in the back, but what I was saying is this Guardian energy almost feels like something that wants to be consumed by you. Like it feels like it's just a part of you that's asking for you to step into it. And in order to get to it, you have to use courage in order to step into this like breakthrough type energy. But honestly, I feel like time and space is saying give yourself time and space for this breakthrough. It's not something you have to rush. I want to reiterate that this breakthrough is not something that you have to rush. It's almost like a story that's unfolding, or like watching a movie and it's unfolding and it's playing out on its own time. And when it's time to move, or this breakthrough the breakthrough is ready, then you will be ready. But it's like you have to signify this readiness. And I don't feel like you're 100% ready yet. I feel like you're maybe 70, 80, wishy-washy. Your energy feels pretty wishy-washy. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels like you so badly want to stick with this group or like fit into this dynamic, but you also so badly want to find another group that actually feeds you. So it's like you have this like push and pull, like this energy, like this weird energy around the way that you give and receive, and you're not 100% sure how you want to handle that yet. Like it's not like you're not sure how you want to move forward. So it feels very wishy-washy. And I honestly feel like the best thing that you can do is just give yourself the time and space to kind of figure it all out and gather more clarity before you move. Honestly, that's why I feel like we have the Hierophant out here in the first place, because there's like this guidance energy that's happening. Like you're being led, you're being guided, so you don't have to worry about it. But it's healthy for you right now to just know what's happening. And what's happening right now is kind of like this pecking order energy, where you're kind of just trying to find your space within this dynamic, and you're seeing how it can feed you, how you're feeding others, and if this is something that you want to continue feeding your energy and your life force into, because you do have this guardian energy within you that is trying to break through. I see it's kind of like this convergence like happening on both sides, where this energy and this energy, they're both coming together and they're trying to meet, and there's like this glass window or like this glass pane where they're both going to break through and meet on the side, on the same meet in the middle, and then everything will shatter around that, and then you'll be able to move forward from there in a place that you feel a lot more free, because it feels like this glass is kind of like the barricade between this freedom and this release that you really, really want to feel. So honestly, this week I say give yourself time and space, because you will see this breakthrough energy making its way into your life. I feel like you will hear this guardian, this woman of crystals, or this Queen of Swords energy calling out to you, and you will move toward her in courage. I feel like you'll be taking steps every day to kind of like step you into that energy. And the Queen of Swords to me always talks about, she always talks to me about healing boundaries, reinforcing boundaries, and then making sure that you are mentally healthy. You're healthy mentally. So you're talking to yourself in a healthy way. You're talking to others in a healthy way. Like you're using your mental energy and your mental force for healing and for good, and not for self-deprecation and for literal evil and destruction and things like that. And destruction is healthy, but the destruction that I'm talking about is unnecessary type evil destruction, or some type of, like feeding into destructive illusions and delusions and things like that. So I feel like this guardian, beautiful like goddess energy is coming through, and it's just taking a little bit of courage, because it's definitely, whatever this is out of your comfort zone for sure. But a lot of this healing stuff is outside of our comfort zone. So that's what you have working with this week. And I feel that like deeply like riddled in your heart to like this type of energy trying to break through. And it feels like there's a lot of fear there. But honestly, I say give yourself the proper space and time to kind of figure this out, because I feel like if you move too fast on this, there will be just some unnecessary consequences that you don't have to like actually face right now. I just feel like it would be unnecessary for you to move too fast on this, because I honestly feel like Spirit is like, we got you, I got you, don't worry about it. When the time comes for you to move and for you to do things, you will be notified. But right now, just kind of take it step by step every day, be courageous, do the right thing, and it'll all unfold from there. So you have 2 chakra wisdom cards this week, so let's turn them over and see what they are. We have personal power with the sacral chakra, 3rd chakra. It does not surprise me at all. I choose to be myself and to express my truth. I have a positive influence on the people and the situations around me. I allow my integrity and confidence to shine, which instills more confidence and belief in myself, and then encourages others to have natural confidence in me. I do not allow my personal power to become egotistical, manipulative, or exploitive. See, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like you're healing or mending some type of group dynamic, but with you, it has to do a lot with your personal power, which is courage, which is breakthrough, which is this guardian energy that you have. So this all makes total absolute sense to me. And it's so fun. I love this bird energy too. And birds are, they're the air sentinels, or like in my awareness, birds represent air. And you have this mental energy here with the woman of crystals too. So it's all just like reinforcement. Like really own it. Hone in on your personal power with this courage. I promise you, it is your healing. I promise you. And then your second chakra wisdom card, we have the 7th chakra. So you have the 7 again. So the number 7 is probably super. So the number 7, as you can see, group 1 is like huge for you. Like it's a huge number. I honestly feel like if you are worried about anything or overthinking anything, I honestly say tap into the energy of the number 7, because it is like definitely here for you. Or more so, tap into the energy of the crown chakra too, that is represented by the number 7. So we'll read 7th chakra, crown chakra, with spiritual awareness. When my mind sways negatively, I remind myself of love, truth, gratitude, and spirit. I am the observer of my thoughts, and I do not let them bring me down. I remind myself to have gratitude and acceptance for what is, and to have the courage of my convictions. I continuously pursue a clear understanding of spiritual truth behind all that is and all that is unfolding. I ask myself, is what I'm thinking the truth, and is it having a positive or negative impact on my life? Exactly. So I feel like this is it. This is it. Like this is the guardian energy right here with spiritual awareness, and this is your courageous energy over here with personal power, and these two are trying to get to each other. They're trying to reach each other inside of you. I feel like that is exactly what's happening. There's some type of like fear in the heart, or some type of like heart energy that's trying to deflect this. It's almost like the glass pane is like this heart energy that's kind of like that feels a little torn. But honestly, I feel like with that, it's the heart is like kind of fighting with it because it's trying to avoid the inevitable, which is like this could be a situation where it shatters, and it shatters in a way that feels unpleasant, or it shatters in a way that you weren't expecting, or it causes you to move on from a situation that you thought you were going to be in for a really long time, or a situation that you thought you could use for your benefit. I'm not saying that that is the case, but that energy is coming through for certain people watching group 1. Honestly, though, I feel like just give yourself the time and space to allow this to unfold as it should, and you won't worry as much about a thing. So let's get into the rest of your cards. Your Moonology card this week is your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. So there's that. I love that so much. It's just so funny because I feel like there's something that you are trying to do here with this group dynamic, with this mending and this healing. There's something else here that I can't quite put my finger on that you're trying to do. I don't exactly know what it is. Only you will know what that is. But there's something else that you're trying to mend or heal or do. There's something else that you're trying to get out of it. And I don't know exactly what that is. But I honestly feel like that spirit coming through saying, hey, your dreams need a practical plan, and part of that practical plan is that breakthrough that you're hiding from, honestly, because it does feel like a hiding from this breakthrough. But also I feel like if you take steps every day to be courageous and to do the things that feel right to you, you won't worry as much about it. I honestly feel that way. And I feel like the practical plan here that is needed is not so practical. It's mainly trust. Trust in what you already know, trust in who you are, and also trust in a higher power outside of you. You have spiritual awareness here with the crown chakra and the woman of crystals. So it's one of those kind of more like one of those messages where we don't like to hear, because like trust is so hard, blah blah blah. But it takes a stretch sometimes in the heart space, especially. That's probably what it is the trust that you're stretching into in the heart. But I promise you, if you like sit down with the sensation and allow it to stretch you, it feels uncomfortable, but after a while you get used to it. And after a while, you expand into this higher level of trust, and you're like, oh, like this is comfortable here. And then you can just keep expanding, you know. So honestly, I feel like this is too an expansion of trust this week too. But I honestly feel like whatever the practical plan is, the woman of crystals has it. You just have to get to her. She has to get to you. It's like you're both trying to get to each other. So I honestly feel like that's what it is as well. So your Star Temple Oracle we have this week is Gateways of Life, Infinite. I have unlimited access to the Divine Mind, which I honestly feel like is over there with the Woman of Crystals. I honestly feel like that is her saying, hey, I have this unlimited access. Like I have exactly what you need. We're just centered. We're just coming together right now. We're just meeting in the middle. We're creating. I'm on this side of the veil creating this breakthrough, and you're on that side. You're on the human, fleshy, material side. I am on the ethereal, consciousness side. So let's create this together. I honestly feel like you are co-creating this situation with a higher part of you. And then your why was I gonna say wisdom for this week? Your intuitive message for this week is the Nine of Swords. I need to say, there's nothing wrong with me. It is safe to challenge my inner bully. I love that. I love that. I love that so much, especially when you are in these more challenging group dynamics, and it seems like a lot of times you try to like make things all about you when there's literally other people who are playing a part in these group dynamics, right? But we are always so attached to what am I doing wrong, what have I done wrong, and then we use that as ammunition against ourselves, and we say, oh, I'm not enough, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And I honestly feel like this situation is calling you to have more of a like broader view on it and say like, hey, these people are part of this too, and they're on this healing journey just like I am. They're on their journeys, I'm on mine, and that doesn't mean that I have to self-deprecate in order to get out of the situation what I want. It doesn't absolve any of the behavior just because I want to talk bad about myself. It's more of like, I can be an adult about this situation, which being an adult also means I don't have to bully my own self in order to feel good about, how unjust or unfair this situation might feel or be, So I love how the Nine of Swords energy came out to kind of like wrap that up, because I feel like the Nine of Swords energy is kind of like also that's what's in the heart. There's this feeling that something is wrong with you. That's why you're like attacking, or not even attacking, but like analyzing this pecking order and analyzing like what's wrong with you and why you are where you are in that dynamic, and you're trying to like sift through like, okay, what is wrong with me? Why wouldn't I be in this position? Why am I in that position? So that's what it feels like. So it's very, very interesting. So I honestly feel this week to go ahead and use the energy, the joyfulness and the beauty of the grouse or goose, I already said the bird's name. Tap into your personal power. Your healing card is courage. Your healing card this week is courage. You also have spiritual awareness. So tap into those energies this week and they will service you. Remember, when your mind sways negatively, you remind yourself of love, truth, gratitude, and spirit. As you choose to be yourself and to express your truth, you have positive influence on the people and the situations around you. All right, group one, remember that for this week. That is going to help you beyond belief. All right, so that is all I have for you this week. I'm sorry about if I do leave some of the stuff in the background in. I am so sorry about that, but it's totally fine. It's so funny actually. And I really, really hope this helped you. If it did not resonate, that is okay. Just take what did and the rest will absolutely fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. But I do hope to see you next week, and I hope this week does go very, very swimmingly for you. I hope you use this healing that you may have received here to the best of your ability and your benefit. So I'll see you next time, group one. Bye-bye. Welcome, group two, for all of our friends who chose why did I say chose like that? Chose the orange candle with the Aleister Crowley Thot Tarot. This will be your reading for today. Let me light this candle too. I've been telling all the group two, that there seems to be like some kind of like more of a a deeper aspect to this week. I feel like last week we went deep with the blue heron energy, but this week we went even deeper. So I feel like there's a huge significance here to lighting a candle this week, just kind of like giving you that torch. I feel like we are all kind of like in this labyrinth type energy, and we're just like making our way through that. So this card over here will represent your healing energy this week. So it's like your healing anchor. And then we have your power animal and all that other jazzy stuff. So let's move that to the side for now. And we'll get into your power animal for this week, which is the rabbit. So, the rabbit wants you to know that it's literally always, it's sunnier on the other side. It's always sunnier on the other side. And there's like two messages coming from this. The rabbit wants you to know that you can always choose to be on the side that's sunny. But when you don't want to choose to be on the side that's sunny, it's okay to go back to your den hole. There's an element of fear that the rabbit is talking about this week that the rabbit wants you to confront. There's something about fear here, and there's something about some of your fears like being unrealistic or like contradicting. There's there's something that you're trying to integrate, some type of belief system, something that you're trying to manage and understand, but there's a fear blocking it. And it seems like this is around joy, or it's around like healing or reception, which is funny, and I'll explain why that's funny in a second. But it seems like there's some type of understanding that you're trying to grip or hone in on, or like move toward and out and past, but there's some type of like fear there. And like the fear is like, the fear is complete like red flag. And why I'm saying that too is because this red flag is like beaming into my awareness right now. I feel like you know exactly what that red flag is, and it seems like the red flag is fear itself, but not fear itself as in the way you experience fear in your body, but the actual language of the fear, like what the fear is telling you. So unfortunately they want to use me as an example. So I have like sometimes when I'm channeling and stuff, I'll have this fear that like what I'm channeling is not actually a channel, and sometimes I'll fear that it's me like overly identifying and stuff like that, which is weird, but I know that that's not true because like everything is spirit. Like everything is spirit, and I'm channeling and I'm delivering a message, and sometimes I have a fear that it's not me channeling, it's just Carmela speaking from brain, and it's just not true, because even if it's me just speaking from brain, it's still of spirit in the sense that it's still coming through a vessel, a spiritual, a being. So there's like this fear that you have here, but it's contradicting something that you're trying to hone in on or integrate. And it's like you either choose to believe the fear in the language of the fear, or you choose to believe the language of spirit, or what you know to actually be better for you. And honestly, what the rabbit is asking you to do is actually choose the light, like actually choose the radiance, like choose what's actually radiant, choose what actually makes you feel good, because it seems like you have this like desire to choose what doesn't feel good because you want to overly prepare for more unpleasantries in life. And rabbit is basically asking you, why are you doing that? Like, why are you feeling that way too? And it's like funny because rabbit is a total prey animal, like there are a lot of predators out there that go after rabbits, and rabbits are still just some of the like most the cutest, like fluffy, just hopping around, like they're cute, and they still just they're like symbols of joy. But also, gosh, they have a lot of predators, that just are on them all the time, because predators gotta eat. So I feel like like the rabbit chooses to relate to fear when it needs to relate to fear. But if the rabbit feels like it doesn't need to relate to fear, it doesn't need to relate to fear at that moment in time, So it's like more so, if there's an actual threat, then there's an actual threat. But if there's not an actual threat, just kind of like bring more joy into your life. I feel like you deal with a lot of irrational fears on like a daily basis, and your fears are contradicting what you're teaching and what you're telling yourself and what you're telling other people. So it's like you literally are like being asked to like this week, really dive into that and really analyze, like, are you actually siding with the fear because the fears, it feels like you side with the fear because you want to prepare for disappointment, failure, blah 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 blah. But it's like, if you choose the radiance and you choose to have a good time with life and actually choose to like step into joy, you actually get to experience joy even through the more challenging times. You know, like you still feel challenged and you'll still feel like, dang, this is kind of unpleasant. And there's some stuff where it's just designed in our life to be unpleasant, and there's not a lot you can really do to navigate that. I'm not trying to sugarcoat that or, you know, push that aside, but what I'm saying is there's some things, you know, that you can get over a little quickly. They don't need your fear. They don't need, you know, the anxiety, the paranoia that you give to them, because it seems like you're someone who wants to overly prepare for the absolute worst, you know. So this is probably my pile, just gonna throw it out there. But I honestly feel like this week you're gonna like be diving into your fears and actually like sorting through them, so you can see which fears are actually just like precautions. Like, okay, the rabbit knows when it sees the wings of a hawk in the air, like, oh, I need to be on guard because I need to be cautious about that. That is a red flag. So I feel like you're being analyzed to actually check out what your red flags actually are this week, because it seems like your red flags are literally like, you put red flags on everything and not everything needs a red flag. You know, like I feel like somebody can say one thing, you're like, oh, that's a red flag, and then you're immediately like defensive and you're fearful and you want to go run and hide. You don't really want to analyze what's actually happening. So I honestly feel like you need to analyze this week what your red flags actually are. Like, what is an actual red flag, and that motions you to, hey, we need to take a step back from this, or what are you actually just giving into because you're afraid of stepping forward and you're afraid of trusting yourself. So I feel like that is where we're at with the rabbit energy for you this week. I also love that's the number 30. I feel like that means something to you. All right, so let's get into your healing card this week, and we'll talk a little bit more with the tarot. So your healing card this week is the Ten of Swords with Ruin. I love this so much. It's so funny because I had a feeling it would be out there. Why did I feel like it would be out there? Because bottom deck was the Ace of Cups with, I don't know what I was about to say with, but with all these this healing energy. It's almost like an explosion. So what I feel happening here is this analyzing of your red flags. I feel like in a piece of you, this is going to ruin you, because what I feel like what is going to happen is, and I love how it came out with this orange candle too. I feel like what's going to happen is you're going to go back in your past, and I feel like you're going to look at your past and you're going to see some of the situations that you ruined, some of the opportunities that you starved and killed, some of the relationships that you starved and killed. I feel like you're going to go back and you're going to look at that, and you're going to see all the places in which you starved yourself and other people of the best parts of you because you were reacting in fear. And I feel like this is such a healing moment for you. I honestly do. Like, I feel like you might cry, you know, and I feel like there might be some people you call and say, hey, you know, like, give a what's up to. But I honestly feel like this is going to like kind of do a little cracking open, especially in your sacral root energy, solar plexus here. I feel like your more animal style chakras will be affected. So the animal chakras for me in my awareness are the ones lower in the body, which are the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and then the heart has the energy of both. I feel like the heart is the bridge between the higher, more ethereal consciousness realms and then our animal, actual physical, fleshy body realm. So I honestly feel like what's going to happen is you're going to see how your fear and almost your will to survive has been transformed and almost to like this paranoia, to where you have like really starved yourself and other people of a really good connection or an opportunity because you were in fear. Now, this is not coming up to be like, oh, you're a bad person. This is all coming up for forgiveness. Why? Because we literally have the Ace of Cups here. This is all coming up for forgiveness, like for you to forgive yourself. This is honestly why it's coming up. I feel like you need this cracking open so that this energy can make its way in, so you can forgive yourself for it. The Ace of Cups wants to stay out. And look what's right below the Ace of Cups. It's the Fool. I honestly am going to keep that. Right under that, you have the Chariot. You can move on. That's all we need. That is literally all we need right there. Because I feel like you're one of those people too. This is probably my pile where you're just like, I'm so stuck. I'm so this. I'm so that. I can't, And I feel like the Chariot is out here for two reasons. This is a very challenging energy to move through because you're working with fear, and I feel like you're someone who lives, kind of like thrives on fear, unfortunately, and you literally are being tasked with choosing whether you want to continue to respond with fear or you want to respond with love, with this Cups energy, to life itself. And it's kind of hard because it seems like fear has been your fear has been a shield for you. Yep. Fear has been a shield for you. Fear has been your way to get out of situations that you didn't want to participate in anyway, but rather than actually say, hey, I just don't want to participate in this, you scared yourself out of doing it, and then you try to manipulate or weasel your way out of doing it. It seems like fear has been your shield, where you wanted to do something like, oh, I want to move to this place, or I want to go here, I want to talk to this person, but then you would use fear, what if they're like this, or what if I go here and then I die, I get axe murdered. You use fear as a way of not moving forward, group 2. That's what this feels like. This feels like fear mongering. That's probably why Rabbit is literally the sun is out on the other side, and the sun is out when you remove your head from this burrow, you cram yourself into. The sun is still out, it's still shining, there's still oceans, there's still mountains, there's still birds, there's still there's still so much more in the world than what you fear and what has you hiding in this burrow. I honestly, look, you literally have the Ace of Cups with the Fool and the Chariot out here with the Ten of Swords. I honestly feel like this is just one of those painful lessons, but I feel like it's one that you need moving forward so that you can actually do the work in this life that you want to do, because I feel like there is something huge that you want to do, and there's something that you're trying to get across, but fear is not going to allow you to do that in a way. Fear is not going to allow you, what is the word here? It's not objectively. Maybe it is objectively. I don't know. But it's fear is not going to allow you to do that in the way that is beneficial to both yourself and to others. This fear anchor that you have has to be moved out of the way. You can't go the rest of your life just expecting the worst. You can prepare, right? Listen, if you want to be one of those doomsday preppers or whatever, fine, do that. It's okay. But what is happening here is there's this paranoia around it, or there's this constant everything has to be a conspiracy theory, or everything has to be fear, or you have to hide from everything, or everything is bad, and you can't do this, you can't, you're telling yourself all things you can't do because of fear. And it's really just fake. You're literally just using it as a shield so that you're not responsible for showing up as your best person, as the best version of yourself. Because if you lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm not doing this because I was afraid, it's yeah, but a lot of us are afraid, and a lot of us are doing stuff afraid, you know what I'm saying? So it's you really can't you're using fear as an excuse. You're using fear as an excuse, and it's just simply not working. It's unsustainable for you. The way that you're designed, you're just not designed to operate like that. It's at its end. it's at the end, like you're at the end of that cycle and you can't like use that anymore. Like where you're going from here, like fear just can't play that role in your life anymore. Like I feel like you're gonna be like healing people out of this same fear, and like you're not gonna like fear monger or use fear anymore. Like I hear you like in the distance, like saying, I remember when I used to fear everything, and I remember when fear was my middle name. Like like I hear you saying words like this, like you're like I see you on a stage with a microphone and you're like teaching people, like some type of like motivational speaker or something, and you're saying like when you used to use fear for your own benefit. And I feel like there are benefits to using fear, but not in the way you use it. The way you use it is more like an excuse, like I don't have to do this because I'm afraid, you know, like like, no, you're not going to make me get on that roller coaster because I'm afraid of roller coasters. And if you make me do something I'm afraid of, then you're a bad person. Like, that's what this feels like. Like, you use it against other people. You use fear against yourself. It's just like you're weaponizing fear, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever said that before. Yeah. Interesting group 2. What is that? So let's get to the rest of your cards, because it seems like you are like weaponizing fear, and what has to come in is this moment of clarity around that, where it's like you crack open and you're like, hey, you know, fear really doesn't have to play this big of a role in my life. I can be afraid of things, and you know, sometimes being afraid of things is funny. That's literally why Halloween exists, you know. Like we love being afraid. We get a thrill out of being scared and frightened, you know. We watch horror movies and stuff just for that fun, you know. We prank people because it's funny. There is something beautiful about fear, but there's the way in which you're using it is just like, it's like the way you're using it is like to your own detriment. And that's why this Ten of Swords energy has to come in and kind of like open your eyes, you know, kind of slice you up a little bit and crack you open to what's really happening and what that can really cost you when you like operate out of fear, you know, like that. So I feel like, I don't feel like it's not something that's coming in, more so I feel like you're probably going to like take a trip down memory lane. Like, you know, like when you're daydreaming and you like pull your temples back and your eyebrows go up a little bit, you just start daydreaming, you go into like this wormhole and you're like thinking like, whoa, if I wasn't afraid, I probably would have went to that concert and would have had a great, you know, like that's more of the energy. And you're analyzing how fear has like stopped you from doing a lot of things in life that, my goodness, that you wanted to do, and you're just like, no, fear, you can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. So let's get into the rest of your cards. Your chakra wisdom card for this week is peace with 4th chakra. Yes. So 4th chakra, heart chakra, peace. I will meditate and be peaceful and calm in my interactions with others and the world. Peacefulness comes in me, giving up the love of power for the power of love. I invite peace to be a part of my life, and I make time to experience my own inner stillness daily. I continually develop an inner sense of calm, and I trust that everything will be right. There you go. Feeling good about myself will help bring peace into my life. Exactly. I honestly feel like this Ten of Swords moment is bringing in this Ace of Cups moment, and this Ace of Cups moment is that. It's this like heart chakra energy where it's kind of just bringing peace to this both realms, because it's like living in fear is not peaceful. No, it's not, you know. So I honestly feel like this is, and from there, in that moment on, you can move on. So if you are feeling stuck and stuff like that, or you don't know what to do, I honestly feel like this energy is the cure. This energy is the cure. And then your Moonology card for this week is meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces, which is coming up on the 13th. So this week is definitely super healing for you, group 2. I hope you are tapping into this energy that is available to you. You have meditate and contemplate. Honestly, I feel like that is that daydreaming energy that I was talking about earlier, and you may actually go into a meditative state and, you know, meditate this week and dive into what your relationship to fear is. You know, go in with that intention. Hey, what is my relationship to fear, and how can I heal this relationship? Because honestly, it feels like where it is, it's a little on the unhealthy side, and I feel like the rabbit is like really trying to get you to see that. And I honestly feel like the meditate, I will meditate and be peaceful, same energy. So it's a lot about getting quiet and taking some moments of stillness, because I feel like this Ten of Swords energy can come through a little harsh if you allow it to. But I feel like if you take the time to meditate and kind of sift through old memories, it won't be as harsh and won't be as like challenging as it can be sometimes. But this is your healing energy. This is like the gateway, this is definitely the gateway. So we have your Star Temple Oracle, which is like the Pleiades Oracle. So let's turn that over and see what you got coming in this week for you. The Amazon Queen Battle. I am a devoted warrior of the universe. I love that. Especially someone like you have the Chariot out here. And especially with your energy is like someone like you who you stay ready. Like you got the energy of I stay ready, you stay ready to like square up or whatever. That's part of that fear. It's like you stay ready for the battle, you stay ready for the fight. But I feel like this is being transformed in you in a way to where you honor the fact that when you're a warrior, you don't have to be a worrier, like just because you are ready for a fight or ready to defend yourself doesn't mean you walk around waiting for the next fight. So I honestly feel like this is why it's being transformed, because it's being flipped over into its head. It's going from an energy of I always have to be in fear, I always have to be cautious, to I can actually sit and meditate and live in radiance and in my power, and I don't have to fear anything, and whatever comes into my awareness, I am capable. I will not allow it to stop me. Like this is that king of wands energy that we were talking about earlier with the collective message, with the I am naturally radiant, powerful, and loving person. I'm not allow others to stifle me. I feel like that energy is for you, but it's also about fear too. You don't allow fear to stifle you, which fear has stifled a lot for you recently too. So let's get into your last message here, which is your intuitive message. We have the Ten of Swords again. So I am shedding and changing, coming out of an old way of being and thinking. Exactly. So you have the Ten of Swords twice. The Ten of Swords is really coming through for you this week with their healing. It's really, really saying, listen, you're shedding this old part of you. This old part of you is cracking open, kind of dicing you up a little bit so you can allow this new flow of energy that's coming in. You literally have an Ace plus the Fool, and you have a Chariot. It's like you getting in that chariot with your cup and riding out. You know what I'm saying? But you have to honor this and bring peace into your life. And I feel like you're not going to bring peace into your life until you sit down with this Ten of Swords energy and really understand the effect that fear is having on you and the role that's playing in your life. So I feel like that is the big thing for you to analyze this week, is like, how is fear playing a role in my life? Is it healthy or is it not healthy? And how can I bring more peace to this? Because you're a warrior, you're a very powerful person. I feel like it's because you're a warrior that you kind of stay on your toes, because you know kind of like what your power is, and I feel like when you know what your power is, a lot of times too, you know what your limits are. But I feel like you are getting a little more relaxed with your limits, and you're understanding that your future self will respond accordingly. You're trusting your future self to respond accordingly, besides always having to prepare for your future response. So that's the type of energy that I'm getting for you this week, group 2. So I really, really hope you enjoyed it. If it did not resonate, that is okay. Just take what did and the rest will absolutely fall away. You are not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours, my dear. So I really, really hope you enjoyed this message, and I will see you next week for another round of week ahead messages. Bye-bye. Group 3, for all of our friends who chose the green candle plus our Gilded Tarot deck today, this will be your message. And let me go ahead and light your candle. And I'm just informing all the groups today that I feel like even though we went deep last week with the Blue Heron energy, I feel like we're going even deeper with the Lynx energy this week. And I feel like we're going deeper so that we clear everything out that needs to be cleared out, because I do feel like there's just some illumination that needs to be brought to some areas. And as we bring illumination to those areas, which is inevitable, you will do it because it's part of your journey. You're bringing forth more of the energy, just get into where you actually want to be. So that's what's happening. That's the alchemy for this week. So this card will represent your healing anchor, your anchor. That's what's healing you this week. And let's get into your power animal, and we have your oracle cards for a little bit later. So the power animal for you this week, group 3, is opossum. I love seeing opossum. I rarely see it, so I'm excited to see opossum this week. So wow. there's a weird energy coming from this opossum card. So there is this need to understand how important, like, it seems like this week you're going to be reminded of how important you are and how like integral you are. Like, you're very, very important. Like, even though it doesn't matter what you consider yourself, what kind of like person you consider yourself, what kind of like person you think you are. I keep hearing you're so cute and you're so sweet. That's so weird. That might be like a message for like someone individually, but you should know that you're so cute and you're so sweet. But there's like this energy here of like understanding how important you are to your family dynamic, to your group of friends, like understanding like really the most powerful thing you can do is like show up as yourself and just be yourself, you know. Like, there is this energy I feel of you like wanting to like dead or like kill a part of you so that you can like fit in. It's probably my message too, but like so that you can fit in with like certain people, certain types of people, and you're like figuring out that like people are just gonna love you authentically. Like, people are going to love you even if currently that, you know, the people around you can't do that. It's kind of like the simple, it's like a simple thing that we don't think about enough because we are always so caught up on like, you know, the people that you have around you now. And then you have that fear of like, if you lose them, then like, can they actually be replaced? And like, sorry to say, but yes, they can be replaced, but so can you, you know. Like, our life is about, you know, evolution and evolving and growing into better spaces, healthier spaces for not only us but for other people. So I feel like one of the things that needs to be said here too is like understanding like how how involved you are in every situation, but also understanding like you play as much of a role in other people's lives as they play for you, you know, in your own life. So it's like, don't forget that. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm being reminded of how important opossums are as marsupials, as the most common marsupial in America. It's just like this reminder that they literally eat ticks. They are the literal reason why, you know, like they cut down on Lyme disease so much, you know, and they don't carry rabies because their body temperature won't allow them to actually carry the virus. I think only 5% of opossums in the country can actually carry rabies. They're super cute and they're a weird species of animal. And they're just kind of freaky, you know, but they're freaky in like this really cool way. Unless you don't like opossums like me. I mean, no, not like me. I love opossums, but just in case you don't like opossums, then you might feel like a little weird about this message, but like, they're actually pretty cute, you know, and they have like so much character and personality. And a lot of people, you know, like I feel like most of the times when it comes to like jokes about roadkill or like some like certain type of person, you know, in the backcountry eating, you know, roadkill, they typically like the animal you think about the most is like either it's a raccoon or it's a opossum, but typically it's a opossum. Like, I feel like opossums have like really bad rap, and I feel like that energy is kind of like you too, where you like give yourself a bad rap or you think you have a bad rap within your family groups because you literally are like, a lot of times like you're like your like what I would consider your best self, because I feel like there's some parts of you that you try to like hide from other people, but I feel like when those parts of you kind of like do come out and they kind of shine, like say you're talking to somebody, right, and you're talking to them about something that they don't have that much interest in but you have a lot of interest in, but they're like a really good friend of yours or like a significant other or something, and when those parts come out you almost want to say like sorry or like be like really apologetic about it, but it's like that person like literally loves you. They don't really like care that much, unless they do, then that's just weird. But you know, then you'll know, you know, the best move for you to make. But it's like, really, like, it's like, just be like more of yourself. Like, this message was told to me by a channeler who channeled a message for me, but she was like, literally just be who you are, people will adjust. And I feel like this energy applies here. Like, be who you are, and everybody else, will adjust. And even if adjust means drifting away, being replaced, you know what I'm saying? Because the same thing happens for you. There's some people's lives that you fall out of, and they go and get new friends. It's like it's not personal, really. I feel like we all try to take it personal because we always try to think, well, who could be better than me, or why would I be replaced, or something like that. But it's like a lot of times you don't even have to like think about it like that. A lot of times it's just like, if it's two-sided, it's double-sided. It's not just like one thing happening for one person, it's a thing happening for everybody involved. So I feel like that's where the message of being involved like is coming from too. Like, understanding like whatever is happening is not only for the benefit of you, it's for the benefit of everybody involved. So I feel like that is why you're being asked so much to be your most authentic self and to show up as yourself, so that you can actually, you're in alignment with what is best for everybody involved, which includes what is the best move for you as well. You see what I'm saying? So I honestly feel like the possum energy really, really is like this reminder of like, stop like trying to like play dead and like dead these parts of you because you're afraid that they're going to be ridiculed or rejected, and like actually just like tap into the significance that you actually hold in other people's lives, in your family groups, in your friends group, in your literal ecosystem, because you do, just like everybody else, you play a major role. Your presence is important. Your presence in this world is extremely, extremely important. Without opossums, we would all probably have Lyme disease right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even though you might consider yourself to be small and hidden and isolated and unassuming or something like that, it's like that's not the case. You are as much involved in life and in your own life, in your family groups, in your work groups and all that stuff as anybody else is. And it's time for you to kind of like take that seriously and step up to the plate for that. So I honestly feel like that is your message this week from Opossum. Like, stepping up to the plate and knowing like how important you actually are in your groups, in your ecosystem. So let's see what tarot card is your healing energy this week. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. Yes. So let me grab the actual deck too. In the bottom of the deck, you have the Page of Cups. So I love that energy, how that's coming through together. And we'll shuffle for more cards. But honestly, the Four of Cups makes a lot of sense to me. It just seems kind of like you're trying to like, look at all these like little rodents. I never like looked at this card like that. So funny. Oh, I'm like looking at it and like not showing you. It's like, look at all this like rodent energy too. It's just like literally like, honestly feel like you're trying to like make yourself like not seem as important, or just try to like play it small, play it cool, or play it like, nobody's gonna miss me, or I'm not important. Like, that's kind of like what it is. And it's like literally when you like transition situations and stuff like that, like you really don't have to like think of it that way. Like, it's just kind of like weird and kind of like self-loathy. Like, it just doesn't have to be that. Like, we really have to break this addiction of self-loathing, like, because it's bad. And then we have the Hierophant in reverse, but I feel it upright, so I'm going to turn it upright. If I feel a card in reverse, I'll keep it in reverse, but that does not feel reverse. That feels very, very upright and like flew out. So we have the Hierophant, and we also have we have the Page of Wands and the Devil, of course. Yeah, 4 cards. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. See, like, I honestly feel like, honestly, I feel like you just need to like be more honest about like the importance you hold within, your work groups. Especially, it seems like your work groups, but like your friend dynamics, family dynamics and stuff like that. Like, you're really important. You play an important role just like everybody else does. You're part of what holds it all together. And like, yeah, do groups like transition and change and stuff like that? Absolutely, because we're all leading. We were all led to each other at some point, and we're all leading each other to something, to ourselves, to other people, to other places, other lands, music, food, culture, whatever. We're leading and teaching each other about things all the freaking time. And I honestly feel like there's a need for you to kind of like see it that way. Like, just see the beauty and the transitions of life and like how things flow and how you can just be involved in that. Like, there's a need for you to just be a little more involved, especially with the Page of Wands and the Hierophant like facing each other. Like, I feel like there's like this weird groovy energy going on between these two. Like the Hierophant is like trying to take the Page of Wands under its wings, and like the Page of Wands is trying to offer like these beautiful like fruit to the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is like trying to offer like this beautiful wisdom. Like, there's something that they have to offer each other, and I honestly feel like they're looking at each other as equals. Like, the Hierophant isn't seeing the Page of Wands as some some child that doesn't know anything, and the Page of Wands is also not looking at the Hierophant as some elder god who cannot be touched and must be submitted to, and that is so much better than themselves. They are looking at each other human to human, friend to friend, love to love is what I'm hearing. Love to love. Like, they literally are just looking at each other, love to love, and it's like a mutual exchange. It feels very healthy and very healing. Like, and I honestly feel like that's why we have the Devil over here in reverse, because it's like, once you look at it like that, all the energy that comes with the Devil, which is a lot of doubt, disappointment, rejection, ridicule, being like really unsatisfied, being uninvolved, trying to play dead, trying to hide, giving into fear and stuff like that. Like, a lot of that stuff kind of falls by the wayside when you allow yourself to stop ignoring how important, how involved you are in the flow of life. And I honestly feel like the hand with the cup here is representing the flow of life. Just kind of like analyze like how your message is like, just know how involved you are, because like you try to like play it cool and like play it like nonchalant, or like play it small, like, I'm just a cool, I'm not doing nothing, don't mind me. But it's like, no, like, do mind me, like, I'm just as much a part of this as anybody else. It's like this, like the feeling, like, imagine if you were like working on a project with a group of people and then they left you out in the credits, and you did a lot of the work. Like, this is what that feels like. Like, no, you wouldn't feel good about that. So it's like, why are you trying to do that to yourself? So I honestly feel like this week you're gonna dive into like why do you do that? And I feel like you're gonna come out really victorious. Like, you're gonna come out on top with a new understanding. And I honestly feel like you're going to have like so much more to give once you gain wisdom from that space. I honestly feel like there's this beautiful exchange that's going to happen within you and outside of you, like you with other people. Like, you're going to be talking to other people about similar situations. And people are just going to give you like really good reflections, like I honestly feel like, and you're going to give really good reflections as well. Like, like, you're important. Like, I feel like if there's one thing that you take from this reading is that you're important. Like, people want you around, like, and people want to be wanted around too, and it's okay that you want to be wanted around. Like, it doesn't have to be this big thing. So I feel like if there's any type of like deepness that you're diving into even further this week, it's that, like, going in and accepting that you want to be, you don't want to isolate yourself the way that you do. Like, you don't want to be isolated. You don't want to be othered the way you're trying to do with this Four of Cups. That's why it's in reverse. I honestly feel like that's your healing this week is coming in. Honestly, I honestly feel like there's someone, probably like the Hierophant type energy, I feel like really is like coming into your life this week to like really like hammer that in. Like, you're wanted, just like be involved, like have fun, like don't take it so seriously, but also just like, don't try to like downplay the importance, that even if you're not in somebody's life anymore, like don't downplay the importance that you had on them or they had on you, like this is about like stop downplaying. I honestly feel like, and I honestly feel like when you stop downplaying, this energy can finally turn into dust. I'm hearing this energy can turn into dust. This energy can turn into dust. There's something you have to say too, but I honestly feel like you've already said it or you will say it. But I feel like if you do say anything, it's just like, I forgive myself and I'm fine, and it's fine that I want to be included and I want to be recognized for, like who I am as a person. So let's dive into your chakra wisdom cards and see what energy they're bringing for you this week. Group 3, we have Self-confidence, of course, with the third chakra, solar plexus, with I trust myself fully. I will not allow fear or doubt to hold me back from doing what I am here to do. I have confidence, belief, and conviction in my abilities and goals. I welcome questioning by others as this gives me a chance to clarify my truth, ideas, and philosophies. I trust in a higher power and I am open to new challenges. Exactly. There you are. There you are, group 3, with the third chakra, solar plexus. And then we also have setting boundaries. Won't you look at that? I'm like, oh, there's something you probably need to say. Then we have literally the throat chakra out here with setting boundaries with I teach others how to love and respect me by how I love and respect myself. Exactly what I was saying, group 3. My integrity is supported when I express my thoughts and feelings. I'm aware of excessively wanting to please others. I will maintain and grow my personal power by saying yes when I mean yes and saying no when I want to say no. I speak up for myself and I set boundaries regarding other people's behavior. I do this by asking for what I do want, such as respect, patience, tolerance, and support, rather than telling them what I don't want. Exactly. I honestly feel like that's the energy too this week for you. Like kind of like speaking up for yourself too, and like, hey, like I want to be a part of this. I want my name on the credits. You know, like I want to be involved. Like you're understanding, like you want to be involved. And a lot of times, sometimes in those type of friend groups, family groups, you know, those dynamics, sometimes you do have to set boundaries. Not sometimes, all the time, really. You really do have to set boundaries for not only your own behavior, but for other people's behavior too, and what you are willing to tolerate. You have to teach that of other people. And if there are other people who aren't willing to learn, then you have your answer. And your Moonology card for this week is a fiery climax approaches with full moon in Aries. Interesting type energy. Yep, I feel like there's something coming to a close with this devil energy. Like they're giving the same energy. So it's interesting how specific decks want us to be used today. And it's interesting how we get these two cards out here. These are the same energy. Like this will turn to dust. This will turn, and it's fiery, so it's gonna burn it. And it's okay. Yeah, you see, same energy. This will turn to dust. This will turn to ash. So that makes sense to me. So I honestly feel like this week you're gonna like really step into like this heavenly type energy where you like really understand like I don't have to operate this way. And I feel like this energy can finally be laid to rest. So I really like that. And then your Star Temple Oracle from the Pleiades is a therapy with the cosmos, ascend. I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. Yeah, exactly. You're doing that. You're doing that. I honestly feel like with this turning into dust and you really tapping into the energy of this beautiful exchange between the Hierophant and the Page of Wands and allowing yourself to tap into the flow from the healing of the Four of Cups, I feel like that's that's a beautiful way to sum it up. You know, like you're part of other people's journey, other people are a part of yours, people drift, people shift, people stay, people go, it doesn't matter. We're all just part of this beautiful flow of the cosmos, you know. And you have to understand the beautiful, you know, you're part of that beauty, you're part of the involvement. You are as much involved in this as anybody else. So I feel like that's exactly why setting boundaries and self-confidence came out, because you really can't continue to downplay yourself, but also hold the fact that, you know, you're part of the cosmos too. It's like, no, that's not how this works. You're beautiful, you're special, and everybody should feel that way. And then your last message for this week, your intuitive message is the Seven of Swords with place boundaries in your own mind, analyze mental rabbit holes or deceit. Exactly. So it's funny because the rabbit energy came out earlier this week, earlier in this reading. So I love how this came out. And I love how it's the Seven of Swords, because I feel like, honestly, you're deceiving yourself. Why do I think that? Well, because if you're trying to convince yourself that you're not important, you're lying. So that's just step number one. And you also have the devil out here in reverse. Now, I honestly feel like this devil energy has been what's been deceiving you into thinking that you're lesser than, or that you don't have to be involved, or that you can't set boundaries, or like it just feels like this devil energy has just been like in the way. Like, you know, like really stomping one foot on your self-confidence and one foot on your ability to express yourself and your self-confidence. So I feel like with the release of that energy, with you finally, like, I feel like your antidote is trusting your own self and releasing this idea that you have to please others and others and others and others and others and others, and understand how beautiful life is as it just flows, because if you focus on pleasing others, what if the people that you're the people that you're pleasing, it's possible that they won't even be in your life forever, or you won't even talk to them forever, or you drift away. It's like, stop trying to please others so much and please yourself, because you're literally the only being in this life that you literally have to spend every single second waking moment with. So I feel like that is where the Seven of Swords energy is coming through. Go in, analyze your mental traps, your rabbit holes of deceit. Place boundaries in your own mind, because this energy cannot be allowed to work and do and continue doing what it's doing. Basically, it cannot continue to be doing what it's doing. And honestly, too, the devil doesn't always have a negative connotation for me when I read it, but in this reading, it does. The devil has an extremely negative connotation in this reading, because I feel like it's the thing that's kind of like trying to, kind of like chomp at your healing and what's happening for you and the beauty that's happening for you. So I honestly feel like it's time for this to dissolve, so that it can be released into the ethers, it can be healed, and can come back in its highest, purest form. That is that energy. Honestly, your healing for this week, what will really help you is stepping into your self-confidence and setting boundaries. When you want to say no, say no. When you want to say yes, but understand that when you say those things, that does not affect your value at any point in time. It does not matter how other people view you. If somebody thinks less of you because you said no to their request, then that's them. That's how they view you, not how you view you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's trying to trap you in a situation you don't want to be in, or something like that, or if there's something you simply just don't want to do, it does not change your value because you don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because a possum doesn't want to be petted or picked up or something like that doesn't change the fact it's a possum that literally is super helpful for our planet and our ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because people want to use you or take advantage of you or whatever, it doesn't change your value. Just because people have a harder time respecting your boundaries, even if you have a harder time respecting other people's boundaries and stuff like that, it doesn't change their value. The way that you see other people does not change their value, because in the eyes of spirit, everybody has the same value, which is infinite. So I honestly feel like that is what you're stepping into. You're stepping out of this like separation and dilly-dallying about lack and fear and blah 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 blah. And this devil energy has such a strong attachment to that. I'm just gonna move that to the side. So it's like you're stepping out of that. It's just unnecessary for you. It's not on your path moving forward, really. So there's a beautiful energy that coming through this week, just tapping into the energy of the flow of the cosmos, really. So I love how you got that coming out of here. And we talked about that earlier too with your healing with the Four of Cups. So it's like full circle, wrap it up. So I really, really, really hope, Group 3, that you enjoyed this reading. If it did not resonate, that is okay. Just take what did, and the rest will absolutely fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. I really, really would love to know how this energy is affecting you this week. It's kind of heavy. It's kind of coming through kind of heavy, because I feel like you will be running into this. It might be a little challenging. It might be a little of a stretch because of what you're used to. It's definitely out of your comfort zone, but I feel like you'll be fine. You don't have anything to worry about. But it is a bit of a stretching that's happening, so that you can fit into this new mode, into this new mode of you. So it's very, very beautiful though how it's coming through in the visioning. But I really, really hope to see you next week for another round of our week ahead readings, and I'll see you next time, friend. Bye bye. Group 4, welcome to your reading. For all of our friends who chose the pink candle, this is your message for this upcoming week. And let me go ahead and squeeze this candle in here. I actually spilled some of the wax earlier like a buffoon, but it's okay. I still love myself. We'll go ahead and light this. And let's get into your reading. So I'm lighting candles, and I chose candles this week because it just feels like there's some stuff that we're dealing with in like this deep labyrinth or the ethers that is like kind of like deep down in like the dirt. Just some stuff we're uprooting, seeds we're planting. So I just wanted to make sure we had the light to see our way through. So let me grab your tarot deck and we will get into your reading. This tarot card represents your healing this week, so I did use different decks for every pile. So this card represents your healing, and then we have your power animal. You got quite a bit of oracle cards, so I'm interested in knowing what's happening. But your power animal for this week is, oh, we have the beaver with 22. I love that. Sometimes I get scared when I see beaver because I'm life path 22, so I'm like, what am I fixing? Where do I need to go, go hammer and nail? But this doesn't feel like that. This is this is so funny. I just want to sit with it for a minute because it feels very tranquil, and it feels very heavenly. It feels very peaceful. This is you like finally like bridging the gap between like your mind and like your solar plexus. It's such an interesting energy that's coming through. It's like you finally trusting the radiance of everything. Like you finally knowing what you're building. So I feel like there was another week where Beaver came out, and I think Beaver was in reverse, and I'm like, this is the energy of being under the house. You're like building the foundation, you're on your back in the dirt with nails and hammering stuff in, but when you come from under the house, you stand up and you see, the house has window panes and walls and rooms and stairs. Like this is that energy. This is like being like stepping back and taking pride in that house, that you've built for yourself. And this is also knowing that you built the house. Obviously you've had support, you've had friends, you've had family, you've had spirit and your ancestors and your spiritual team and the angels and everything else, But I feel like this is a moment for you to kind of like take pride in what you've been building and what you've been doing, because it's been hard. It's been hard, it's been challenging, and a lot of what you've been building in the inside, basically, it wouldn't exist if you didn't have a need for it on the outside. So if you were experiencing lack on the outside, there wouldn't have been a need for you to build this new and this healthier foundation. You see what I'm saying? So this is basically the honoring and the owning of the fact that you have been building a new foundation in the inside, and unfortunately, the way it was designed, it meant that you had to experience lack on the outside, Like in order for you to want to build a new house, you didn't have a house, It's almost like you felt homeless on the inside, and probably on the outside too. But it's like now it's like it feels like things are gonna like start rolling in for you to like better understand that, even if it's small things, like you're in a store and a certain song comes on the radio and you hear it and you're just like, oh, I know who that is, that's spirit, that's my guide just reminding me that I'm all right and I'm on the right path. Even if it's something that's small, even if it's something as small as like seeing a penny and then like the numbers on the penny is like, they're like your angel numbers or like your birthday or something like that. Like this is that, like this is that energy of just like seeing those like little small things and being reminded of the magic of the universe and being like reminded of like what you're actually building, which it feels like you're building a kingdom, or a queendom, which is a lot of work. And you're building that on the inside so that it reflects, that life reflects on the outside of you. So that's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of releasing, healing, toiling, knowing yourself better, like really getting down in the nitty gritty of things. So it's really hard. So I honestly feel like this week, the best thing that you can give yourself is kind of like appreciate yourself and appreciate the work that you're doing, and just give yourself a breather too. Give yourself a breather, because I feel like this year and this month are going to be really healing for you in a really good way. And I love that. I feel like there's some goodness due you, So I honestly feel like this week, if there's anything that I can say is like enjoy the breeze. I'm hearing like enjoy the breeze, you know, because I feel like you've been building and you've been building, and I'm hearing there's still some work to do. There's still a lot to do. There's always going to be work to do and upgrades and things you want to add from the house or maybe even take away. But this is definitely an energy of like just enjoy you and appreciate you, appreciate yourself, and appreciate the work that you've been doing, because it hasn't been for nothing. Even though it may feel like it, or it may look like it, or it may seem like it right now, it hasn't been for nothing. Even if what you're doing, you know, it's small right now and blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. What you're doing is working. Basically what you're doing is working, so enjoy the breeze. So your tarot card that we got for your healing energy is... Oh, you have the Six of Wands. For some reason, I feel like for some reason, there's a reason why it's in reverse and it's not negative. I want you to know that it's not negative. Because a lot of times people see reversals and they think, oh, it's negative, it's negative. No, it doesn't feel like that. In my heart, I'm trying to get the language. There's something coming through the heart space. It's not coming through mental at all. Let me see. And then you also had the Sun. The Sun was in reverse as well, bottom deck for this. And I feel like this is something. This is something, and I'm trying to get the language. There's something about these flowers here. Even when I first saw them on the Six of Wands, there's something about these flowers. There's something about these flowers. I can't exactly pinpoint it. Like there's something about these flowers, especially like having them turn towards the sun. It's like they're drinking from the sun. Like, I feel like I have to like, like I need to stretch just a little bit. Radiance is due you. Radiance we give to you. Radiance you have to believe. Radiance you have to believe. So they're echoing radiance you have to believe. You have to believe. You have to believe. Ooh, that's probably why I had to stretch. Because believing is so hard. You know, believing is like the hardest part. It's like, because believing is trust, and you can't, like, when that happens, not can't, but when that happens, ooh, they said even if doubt gets in the way, you will trust. Even if fear gets in the way, you will trust. And I love how they're saying too, you will. Like they just have no doubt. They're just like, you will do this. Like it is like, it doesn't matter. Like you can, okay, okay. So what they're saying is like, this is an opportunity to practice unconditional love. So they're basically saying, believe that radiance is due you, but believe this is unconditional love. Believe this through all of your conditions. So they're saying no matter how much healing you think you still need to do, no matter how bad your past life was, your past is, no matter what is happening in your present moment, no matter. They're saying no matter. They're saying no matter. Like they're just screaming no matter, because like none of that matters. Because what, like they're using the word matter as an actual matter, like the material of the universe. So they're saying like that won't matter, like that won't materialize. So please love yourself and trust through all conditions. Love yourself and trust through all conditions, because if you love yourself and trust through all conditions, you don't give doubt or fear or anger or resentment or anything like that, you don't give it a way to derail or scatter the energy that's coming into your life. So I honestly see you as this, like, I don't know why I see you as this like little poppy seed. Like you are the flower. I see you as the flower, you know, and it's like almost like this flower that grows through the concrete, you know, like, whoa. Yeah. I like, this is interesting energy. For some reason, there's like this poppy seed, and it's like they're saying high, like stay high, which is crazy because like poppy and opium, so that's probably why they made that connection in my brain. But it's just like not high as in like substance abuse, which, you know, there's a difference between, you know, healing and stuff like that, or in actual like, are you numbing, are you escaping, you know, or, and they're even saying too, like they're like even saying it doesn't matter. Like they're like literally, like anything that I bring up, they're like love through that condition. It does not matter. Like it doesn't matter what you think. Like they're like, even substance abuse, love yourself through that condition. Love yourself through that condition. Love yourself through whatever you think the conditions are. You know, like love yourself through whatever you think the conditions are. I want to get some more cards for this because it's very interesting energy. It's so interesting. What else is going on with group 4 this week? So I feel honestly like, and I love how like this message is coming through with the pink candle, like of course, you know. Look, we have the 3 of Swords in reverse. Then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. What's the bottom deck now? Oh, we have the Page of Wands again. The Page of Wands comes out again. So honestly, I feel like group 4, the Page of Wands energy is like you're giving yourself a second trial. You're giving yourself a second chance at being like, you're giving yourself a second chance at like trusting the radiance, because it feels like you were this Knight of Wands before, but you were a Knight of Wands filled with a lot of doubt, which led to like a lot of spontaneity, and which led you down a road that was particularly challenging. And it seems like you're trying to get to this 10 of Pentacles moment. You know it's there. You can taste it. You can feel it. You can see it. You can touch it. But it's like you like need this kind of like second wind. And that's what the Page of Wands energy feels like. But the 6 of Wands energy honestly feels like victory is assured. Like I feel like the 6 of Wands energy is in reverse because they're literally saying like this is going to happen through all condition. Like it doesn't matter what you think. Like it doesn't matter what's in reverse, what's upright. Like they're really saying it doesn't matter. Like this is happening. This is happening for you, not to you. And they're saying that in a good way, you know, like this is happening for you. Like it feels like a really good thing. This doesn't feel negative at all. It doesn't feel like a starting over or something like that, or like a big like challenge. This feels more like something that's due you. The number 6 is like popping into my awareness like crazy. This 6 of Wands is crazy energy, like crazy energy coming off of this card. And now wants to be turned upright. It's some crazy energy coming off of that card. And now they're like, do you see? Through all conditions. It's the same. Like it doesn't matter. Like love yourself through all conditions. It doesn't matter what you think, you know, like, and what you think does matter. But what they're saying is like you have to like kind of like be a little more illogical, because you know how logic is like, well, if you do this and this, if you do XYZ, then you're gonna get, you know, ZYX, you know, or whatever. But they're like, no, like your path is a little sporadic, a little crazy. You got Knight of Wands energy here, Page of Wands energy. So I feel that. I honestly feel like you're going from the Page of Wands to this, I don't know, I don't want to say squire, I don't even, you know, but this Page of Wands to this person in the 6 of Wands card. Like it feels like you don't have to fight as much anymore with the Knight of Wands energy. That just like released so much from my spine. Like my entire spine just relaxed. It's been difficult. It has been something. It has been something. Has not been easy, group 4. Whew. I feel like so much wand energy just released from my back. Like the 10 of Wands energy is definitely here, which is funny because I saw it when I was shuffling and I was like, oh, hey, 10 of Wands, what do you want? I don't feel like dealing with your crap today. You know, so, and you have the Ten of Pentacles out here, you know. So honestly, I feel like you're going from this to this, and you don't understand how it's going to happen so fast or like why, but this is like miracle type energy, because I feel like what the Knight of Wands is representing here, and is like also beavers are literal miracles. Like literally animals who build dams. Like how can you be anything less than a miracle? So let's just get that out of the way. But like honestly, I feel like with the Knight of Wands energy, the Knight of Wands energy put you in a position to where you have to toil, you have to fight, you have to dig, you have to do. But I feel like the Page of Wands is more of like a receptive type energy, where you have to receive, where you have to learn, where you have to absorb. And I feel like you're going to, like, you're doing this almost from the inside because of the work that you did, that you put in with the Knight of Wands energies. I feel like these two energies are like attached at the hip. Like these two energies are the same. And I honestly too feel like that's why your horse in this card feels a lot more like chaotic and more like all over the place and more like, you know, like ready to fight and battle, because I feel like that was the position that you were in. But like now, because you like you've done this part of it, you've done this part, and you're stepping back into the Page of Wands so that you can integrate all the stuff that you've done and you've accomplished. And now you can sit on this horse where it's like calm. You know, this horse literally is relaxed. It has literal styled hair. So there's that. And it has more on it too. Like it has like reins and like, you know, just jewelry, and it's more decked out. You know what I'm saying? Like it has more going on with it than just kind of riding out butt naked into the battle like charge, you know, which is what you did over here with the Knight of Wands. This Knight of Wands energy feels hard as hell, you know, paired with this Three of Swords. It feels very thick and very heavy. So honestly, this week, I honestly feel like you're going to be diving into and really like integrating and owning everything that you learned over here with the Knight of Wands and all the energy that you had to like the exertion. And it's like you're finally getting a chance to kind of like enjoy the breeze. Like the Six of Wands energy is crazy. Like anytime I touch it or just tap into its energy at all, like these two are paired. These two, same energy. Like you're riding on your horse and then like you're going to like meet up with these people and the dog. But it's like you are like this is same energy too. Like you are like it's the same. It's like the Page of Wands and the person in this card is the same person. It's like you're just choosing to put the crown on and go get your horse. Like right now, the Page of Wands is just standing outside of the stable and outside of their home, like, you know, it's time, you know, go for a ride. You know, it's time to go for a ride. I like that. This is really refreshing energy. It's very, very refreshing. Very, very refreshing. This is definitely like a stepping on like a certain path, down a new path. It feels good. And they're saying too, like they keep saying it does not matter. Like I honestly, even in my own brain, I'm trying to create some type of way to like sabotage this, and I feel like this is what you do, especially the Knight of Wands energy. I feel like out of all the knights, for me, the Knight of Wands is the one that speaks more like about sabotage more than anyone else, because of that fire energy. So I feel like the Knight of Wands is typically the one, if one of them is going to self-sabotage and stuff like that, is the Knight of Wands. So I honestly feel like that's the energy that you've been working through. And you're basically learning how to not sabotage, especially as a beaver. Excuse me. Or like a builder. It's like, why would you, it's like building something and then like creating it, you know, to fail. And I feel like what you've been creating, it's been so hard because it was a co-creation, and the energy of spirit that you were co-creating with was not allowing you to sabotage it. And you wanted to so bad, and you've tried to sabotage and and the reason why, the Page of Wands out here twice, because there is another card out here with the Wands energy up, so that's funny. But yeah, it feels like you've been trying to sabotage it because you don't want to believe, because you're tired of being disappointed. But I feel like the energies keep saying, even through disappointment, love through all condition. It doesn't matter. They're also saying like release the past, and I love too how that came through. Oh, the King of Wands is out here too. I forgot about that. Oh, that's so sweet. I feel like this is for you, group 4 too. Don't let your past hold you back with the South Node, and right under that is full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. I feel like out of all the groups, you need to see that and hear that. But the bottom deck, if you watched the web earlier in the introduction, the bottom deck for our Moonology, bottom deck for our web with the Moonology cards was the don't let your past hold you back. And I feel like that is something that you definitely need to tap into, is not allowing your past to hold you back, because your past is your past, my friend. You know, you did what you could, and you have to allow yourself to evolve, you know, and you've taken responsibility and you've done the work, you know, and you're fine. You're absolutely fine. I honestly feel like this is the part that you're integrating, and that's falling away. You know, when I say falling away too, what I mean by that is this energy is being released from you so that it can go and be transformed, so that it can come back into your life in its highest, healthiest state, because you've transformed it, you've cooked it, you've done the alchemy, you've done the work. So now it's time to release it. Now it's time to release it so that it can come back in the way that it was intended to operate in your life, in its in the healthiest, most radiant way, which is over here. So I love that energy for you. So let's get into your chakra wisdom cards and see what they hold for you. You have group 4. Look at that. Literally, you have beaver with base chakra, root chakra, first chakra with building a strong foundation. I create stability and security by adequately providing myself with the basic needs of a healthy life, such as shelter, food, water, and clothing. I use my creativity to build a strong foundation, as this is an essential key to my survival and growth. The more inner and outer stability I have, the more grounded and fulfilling my life will become. I respect myself and take care of my physical body by nurturing and nourishing it. My body tells me what it needs. Listen, look at that. Like, this is one of those moments where you just have to trust. You know, it might be scary, it might be hard, it might be a stretch, but look at that synchronicity right there. Like, there's just not a reason not to trust, you know? And your second chakra wisdom card, we have 6th chakra, third eye chakra with intuitive perception. Of course. I know that what my intuitive senses tell me are true. Yes. I open myself to the truth that is within me and around me, and I know that it is there for me to receive. I practice developing my intuition, and I know that it is a major aspect of who I am. In the stillness and silence of meditation and contemplation, I will experience and know the truth. Exactly. So if you had any doubt about, like, I feel like you are the type of person too, or the type of people where you know, like, something big and beautiful is happening and it's coming into your life, or like, you know that you weren't doing all this work for no reason, and you know that it's time for you to reward yourself, or there's like this big payback. Honestly, trust it. It might not come through on your time, or you might every day wake up and be like, where is it? Or like, oh, when is it going to happen? Or have I done enough work? I've done enough work already. It's like spirit is working with you, so you really don't have anything to worry about, honestly. And I love how it was like the number 6 is going crazy. The number 6 is going crazy for me. And then you have the 6th chakra with the third eye. So that's what that energy is. This is about you trusting your intuition and knowing what's true for you, knowing what's happening in your life, and knowing what the healing that you're doing. Yep. This is that. Oh God. This is that. So your Moonology card for this week is, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Exactly. That to me is the epitome of loving yourself through all conditions. That's exactly what that is. And I love like this purple that's coming through. It's really like speaking to me. This is definitely some like higher realm energy, like some like blessed energy that's coming through your life that's going to materialize, because you have the base chakra coming out too. I feel like those two are working together like very, very deeply. Very, very. Is this a group where I said there was like some solar plexus energy working with the mind? I honestly feel that way, because I feel like there's a mending or healing that is this group. If it's not, there is definitely some mending and healing going on here too with the mind and the solar plexus, because I honestly feel like the solar plexus is your battery, and I feel like what's happening is the root has like all the codes for what needs to come through and materialize, and like the mind is like translating it, and like I'm seeing the solar plexus act as like the sun or like a projector, and it's like materializing the world around it. Like it's crazy, you know, like a movie projector or something like that. So it's like honestly releasing this negativity in the deepest way, you know, clearing out that root chakra, that root work, you know. And I feel like with this Three of Swords, that's exactly what you're doing. This Three of Swords and this Knight of Wands, you're doing some heavy root work. And I honestly feel like it's because you were uncovering those deeper codes, the deeper template, the deeper codes, in order for you to shine that outwards into the world, so that you can model it, so that you can teach it, so that you can bring it to life, give it actual material life. This is beautiful. And then your Star Temple Oracle cards, you have 2 of them. So let's read the first one. We have the Jade Star with Selanio, surrender. I am ready to let go with self-compassion. Woo, yes. Yes. That's a beautiful card too. Probably didn't say that name right, but it's fine. Oh, I feel like I have 22 and 23. I need to stop. I need to focus. But the Jade Star with surrender. So honestly, I feel like it's time to release negativity, and surrender, same energy, right? Same energy. I feel like that energy is basically saying love through all conditions. Surrender completely. Surrender with self-compassion. Look at that. Look at that, group 4. Wow. And then our second card we have is Taigeta with the Mystic. Magic. I weave my magic and surrender to the universe. Boom. I honestly feel like that's what you've been doing. That is exactly what's been happening. You're literally, you literally have 22 beaver out here. Like, literally, this is what's happening. This Ten of Pentacle energy is so strong. Oh my God, that is so funny. I'm like thinking about something, and it's like, wow, this is some good energy. This is crazy to me right now. You have the word surrender twice. I honestly feel like you're just being asked to surrender to the magic that is you and the magic that is the universe, you know? Like surrender to the magic with self-compassion, self-compassion, self-compassion. That's like being echoed and repeated in my visions. Like you have a group of supporters that are like echoing that throughout the ethers for you too, just so that like they make sure, like I honestly feel like the support that you have, like I was saying earlier, like they're making sure that you cannot fail this. They're making sure that like, no, we're not giving up. Like, we're going to do this. This is happening. It has happened. It will happen. Like, there's nothing you can do to fight this. It's really cool. And our last card for you today is 8 of Swords. You are not stuck. Courage is truly what you need. Wow. And that's so funny because the Courage card for one of our other piles is sitting out right now. I'll show you. It's the Voyager Tarot. Courage is sitting right there looking at me. So I love that. And it's a wands too. So that's so funny how like all the messages are so interconnected. We're all just on different paths, you know, different parts of the journey, different parts of healing and stuff like that. So group 4, you are not stuck, even though it may feel like it. Courage is truly what you need here. And I honestly feel like the courage that you need is the courage to surrender to the magic of the universe, the courage to release negativity, the courage to release doubt, guilt, and shame, the courage to actually release and surrender is what is needed here most. So that is a beautiful, beautiful message. I feel nervous for you, group 4, honestly. But this is beautiful, beautiful energy. I love it so, so much. So did I wrap up and tell you what this week was? This week, surrender to the magic of the universe. Surrender to the magic of the universe for the rest of your life. Surrender to the magic and appreciate yourself and be proud of the foundation you've been building, because it is definitely paying off in a big way. So it's very beautiful. Ooh, all right. So thank you, group 4, for coming out and hanging out with me today, chit-chatting with my energy. So that is all I have for you. However, I'll be back next week with another round. If this round of energy did not resonate, that's okay. Take what did, and the rest will absolutely, positively fall away, okay? You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours, but I really, really hope that this group 4 reading is for everybody, because this is the energy that this is what I wish for everybody. It's beautiful, beautiful energy. So I really, really hope to see you next time, friends, and I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Bye-bye.